The gospel text of today is taken from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 17, verses 10 to 13. It is a scene immediately after the transfiguration. Jesus is coming down with the 3 disciples he took with him on the mountain, Peter, James, and John. And even as they come down, they have a question, not so much about the transfiguration, but about the coming of the Messiah. And so their question is, why do the scribes say Elijah must come first? In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 1, God speaks about sending a messenger. That messenger in Malachi chapter 4 verse 5 has been identified as Elijah. So it was an understanding of people that before the Messiah came, Elijah would come to prepare his way. Jesus speaks about John the Baptist as the renewed and as the new Elijah. And he tells his disciples that just as Elijah came before God, so John the Baptist has come before the Messiah. However, because of the lack of openness of people, because they were expecting a different kind of messenger, they rejected John and did not accept him. As a matter of fact, Herod even imprisoned John and finally beheaded him. In other words, the messenger Elijah, represented by John in the New Testament, was rejected. He was not regarded as the Messiah. So very obviously, if the messenger who pronounces the Messiah was rejected, it is not very likely that the Messiah himself would be accepted. And so Jesus tells them that they did whatever they pleased to this Elijah who has already come as represented by John the Baptist. The implication is that they will do the same with the one who comes after John because they will not accept him as the Messiah. Jesus, however, will not let that deter him, because Jesus is not concerned about what will happen to him. He's not concerned about his personal safety, about his personal comfort. What he's concerned with is spreading the message received from the Father of unconditional love. And if the love of the Father is unconditional, then that love will be given continuously and constantly. The person who receives that love has to decide whether they want to retain that love, want to receive it, or they want to reject it. The invitation of Jesus is always a free invitation. No one is coerced to accept the love. No one is forced to accept the love. No one is pressured to accept the love. But the love will keep being given because the giver is free. The acceptance of that love depends on each individual. If we open our hearts wide, we can see in John the Baptist the Elijah who is to come. And then we can see in Jesus the Messiah, the Son of God. This Son of God invites us and challenges us today not to keep the love which he pours into our hearts within ourselves. The love that we have received has to be a love that is shared. Love is doubled when it is shared. Love is only genuine when it is shared. Will you first open your heart wide to receive God's unconditional love? And then, will you share that love with at least one person today?